the plaintiff, Nathan Nutter. He says the defendant, his neighbor, falsely accused his dog of biting him. He had to waste a day going to court, which is far from his house. Then, to make matters worse, the defendant never showed up for the hearing. Well, time is money, and he's here suing for lost wages to the tune of $2,121.51, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Daryl Tabor. He says he was walking on the street when the plaintiff's vicious, unruly dog lunged at him and bit him on the leg. The dog's teeth punctured his skin, and if he wanted to, he could have had the town put the plaintiff's dog down. The plaintiff's a nag who harasses him, yells obscenities at him, and he owes this doggone crazy nothing. He's accused of wasting someone's time.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Nathan Nutter?
Yes, ma'am.
You're suing Daryl
Tabor,
your neighbor, for $2,121.51. Lost wages, and you want him to recompense you for a fine you got, and you want to triple that because you think it's elder abuse.
Yes, it's elder abuse.
Okay, let me hear from you. How old are you?
I am 65 years old, and I've lived in Fort Lauderdale for 6 years. And Mr. Tabor moved into our neighborhood about 3 years ago. And initially, we were on a friendly basis. Mr. Tabor would tell everyone in the neighborhood how brilliant he was, that he had a very high IQ. And because of this, we got into a tiff at a Memorial Day cookout where I stated that if you're so brilliant, why do you not have anything to show for it? And then
why did that happen?
Well, he goes from job to job. He couldn't hold a job for more than 2 or 3 days.
I know. I'm wondering why you say anything to your neighbor about that. Why don't you just ignore him? Like, I guess I'm
Well,
trying to figure out why you have to insult him rather than say, oh, he's a jerk
Your
and walk
Honor,
off.
I just became tired of hearing it. I work at the patent office, and the average IQ at the patent office is about 150 among the examiners. And he didn't seem like he was anything like the people I work with. And I just became tired of his incessant bragging.
Okay. And what did he say?
He got very upset. He mostly kept quiet, but he got very upset and stared at me. And after that, I sort of left the cookout.
Okay. Were you asked to leave?
No.
Oh, okay. So go on.
After that, that was in 2015, and I walked my dogs, and we would go over and be on the side of the sidewalk, and he would come directly at us, crossing the street, often unnecessarily, and passing us as close as he could.
You're talking about the public road, right? The public
Yes.
right. You're talking
Yes.
about the sidewalk.
Yes.
When you're saying unnecessarily crossing the street, what do you mean?
Well, I have videotape that shows that he would cross the street directly to be with us and then cross back on the other side.
Let me see your videotape.
Okay. Now, the first video shows him coming toward us.
Is this after or before the event in question?
This is after the
Okay,
event.
just a moment.
He continued
Just
on.
a moment. The man has a grocery bag in his hand. Here come dumb. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Well, this is after he filed a bite report.
He just walks right by you and ignores you while you're calling him a dumb and laughing like a madman.
Well,
what's that about?
Okay, so here's what's happened. I was with my dogs over at the Bank of America, and my dog has defecated, and I've been over to pick it up. Mr. Tabor comes right up on us, and the dog became anxious. He said,
When you say right up on us, what do you mean?
He was about inches from us.
What's he doing? Is he going to punch you? What's
No,
he
he's
like
walking.
right up on us? What does that mean?
He's just walking.
Oh, he's just walking on the street.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Now, he says, the dog bit me. And I said, let me see. And he said, no, I'm going to go home and wash it out with peroxide. At that point, I said, my dogs are fine on all their shots. Well, then
Did you not see your dog bite him?
No, I never saw
Okay.
that.
Okay, what happened were you bitten?
Yes, I was bitten, Your Honor.
Okay. And was this after or before the Memorial Day picnic or whatever he described with the insult?
That was after.
Okay. So you walk by and one of the dogs bites you. Was it a bad bite?
It wasn't where the teeth had sunken in real deep. It did break the skin.
Okay.
Because I was wearing jeans. And I got up off of the street because it knocked me down. The dog was tugging at my leg. And I managed to pull myself away from the dog. And then I didn't have any words with him afterwards. He didn't tell me anything about his dogs being okay with shots or anything like that. I went home, and it was my decision to go ahead and flush it out with peroxide and alcohol. And I told that to the sheriff's department when they showed up.
How did the sheriff's department show up?
I called them to file a report.
Right.
Just in case I had any further health issues
Okay.
because of the incident. I wanted there to be a report that the dog had bitten me.
Okay. Now, and the dog was on a leash when it bit you?
It was on a leash when it bit me.
Okay.
And he had to wear back on the leash to get the dog off of me.
Listen.
So he seems to have this impression that you're walking really close to him to annoy him or to have a problem with him.
Well, Your Honor, last time I checked, the sidewalk was public property, and we're allowed to walk on it.
So there was a period of time between the picnic
Right.
or the barbecue and this bite. How much was that period of time?
I want to say it had to have been at least a year or more,
Oh, a year.
at least.
And you aren't taking pains to go across the street and walk because it's a public road, and that's where you happen
and
to be
not only
walking.
that, that's the same side of the street that the store that I'm headed to is
Right.
located on. So I just would cross that side
Do
of the
you
street.
guys say hello to each other, or you don't even talk to each other when you pass each other?
Well, in the beginning, before his dog bit me, I used to say hello to him. But then after that, ever since his dog bit me, he found out about the
Right.
complaint that was filed about his dog. And since his dog was detained, from what I understand, for 2 weeks, ever since then, he has been verbally abusive to me every time I walk down the sidewalk when he happened to be taking
Well, yeah, I
his
just
dogs
saw a
out.
tape of it.
Yeah.
He just helpfully
That's just
provided a
one.
tape
That's-
of him.
Your Honor, that's
And
only one of maybe 15 or 20 incidences.
All right, so now you're not suing him.
No, I didn't press charges against him when the dog bit me. I begged him not make sure the dog was not put down because I'm an animal lover. You know? So the only thing they said they'd do is quarantine a dog. And I was
Have
like,
that
I'm
dog
good with
ever
that.
bitten anybody else?
I've had people tell me that the dogs have lunged at them and that they have taken different paths to walk their dogs in the neighborhood now because they're fear of his dogs.
All right, the dogs have been with you how long?
6 years, Your Honor.
Were they rescue dogs?
Yes, his
Did
characterization.
you tell the animal control people that they were bad dogs?
Yeah, they were easily excited.
Bad dogs.
Yeah, they are
'Cause that's
easily
the quote
excited.
in the animal control. That you
Right.
yourself said they're bad dogs.
Right. However, his characterization of what the event is totally inaccurate. The dog did not jump. The dog never had.
I'm
his
trying to
leg.
understand why you're suing the guy your dog bit, your bad dog bit.
Because-
I'm so lost, I can't tell you.
Okay.
It's the first time
So he
anything like this
filed-
has ever happened in any court of law I've ever been associated with. I have never seen the guy whose dog bit the other guy sue the other guy for
Okay.
triple the fine I had to pay because my dog bit you and triple my lost wages because my dog bit you. What is going on?
He filed a false police report.
What's the
and
false police report?
He states that the dog had bitten a mail worker, letter carrier, in the police report.
Okay.
And that's not true.
Let me
in
see
order
it.
for
Did your
postal
dog
worker-
bite anybody else,
ma'am.
whether it's a postal
No,
worker,
Your
a
Honor.
contractor, anybody else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, what he says is, Daryl further advised that Nathan's dog has bitten other neighbors as well as a local mailman in the past, but was never reported. Fire rescue was refused when asked.
Postal workers.
I made contact with Nathan, who advised me a very similar story as Daryl. He advised that both his dogs were considered bad dogs, that he rescued them from a shelter and was attempting to rehabilitate them. Nathan was cooperative, agreed to keep the animal quarantined. Okay, what are you suing for?
Well, I would like, he did file a statement with the Broward County.
Because your dog bit him.
Right. Well, we don't know that. There was never any proof. I never saw it. There's no picture.
Okay, did you read the police report? Because
Yes.
the police officer, hold on.
Said it looked like a scratch or a cut.
Yeah, the police officer, and he's not making a big deal about it. He's not claiming, $5,000 in pain and suffering.
this
He
shows
says
him
it was
going
a
back
small
and forth.
deal because I was wearing jeans.
Right.
It's okay. I poured peroxide, took care of myself. I didn't even go to a doctor. He's not making a big deal. All he did was call the police years after that problem that you guys had and showed the officer on his right shin knee causing a scratch and a small cut.
Your Honor, I never saw a bite. And he filed a statement I had to go into court,
Right.
and he never showed up.
Why didn't you show up to the thing?
I was out of a job at the time, Your Honor, and I could not afford a bus pass to even get there.
Right, so did you end up having to pay or you didn't have to?
No, I did not pay.
So why are you
That
suing for 3 times $50 fine that you never paid?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is it the pedestrian's duty to walk away from the dog or the dog owner's duty to keep the dog away from the pedestrian?
I'm going to say it's up to the dog owner. Just like when you have a vehicle, you have to be commander of your vehicle all the time. I'm going to say the same thing with the dog.
Fair point.
Absolutely, I would agree. It has to be the dog owner's responsibility.
Dog owner?
The dog owner has to take care of his own animal and not hurt other people with it.
So what do you do if you're walking the dog then and somebody's passing you? What do you do?
You shorten up the leash and you move.
It's a good answer. Going inside the courtroom.
I paid the $50 for the quarantine.
Okay.
Okay, not for the
And
fine.
why do people have to pay you 3 times your damages?
Because there's a statute in Florida that states that if you're over 60 years old, it becomes elder abuse. If someone,
What becomes elder abuse?
well, his harassment.
Exactly. No, it's what becomes elder abuse. If I borrow $5 and you don't pay me and I'm over 60, it doesn't become $15 that you owe me. It depends on what it is. It has to actually be elder abuse. There has to be an elder abuse count.
Okay, so
there's not even an abuse count. There's
what
no
I'm
assault.
saying-
There's no battery on you. It's the other way around. There's someone saying your dog bit them. How would that entitle you to 3 times
Your Honor.
what your damages are if you had a damage?
Your Honor.
Yeah.
He purposely walks across the street to be by us. Now, if you want to see the third video, it shows how kind and sweet my
I
dogs
live
are.
for the moment.
I have a third video that shows where the dogs are very kind and sweet.
What's that supposed to prove?
The dogs are very kind.
So that a friend's petting him and he's like, how is that? Okay. How is that supposed to prove to me that he filed a false police report a year ago
Because he
about an
lied.
injury that a police officer verifies?
He lied to the policeman that the dogs had bitten other people, and the dogs
Mr.
never
Nutter,
bitten anyone.
Mr. Nutter, I need you to listen to me.
I am,
You do
Your Honor.
not have a right to make someone else not walk on a public street.
I understand
You
that, Your
do not
Honor.
have a right to make someone else pay you triple the lost wages because it's elder abuse because you had to deal with a false police report. It is not elder abuse for someone to claim that your dog bit them.
Your Honor.
And this $50 fine, I guess quarantine fee or whatever, that you had to pay, you do not have a right to have him recompense you for it.
Your Honor.
We are done, Mr. Nutter, and you, Mr. Tabor, you have an absolute right to walk anywhere you want.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you can walk on the street in front of his house or the street in front of your house because it's a public right-of-way.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
Okay?
Honor.
Your Honor.
We're done. We are done. Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, this is not a very good day for you, Mr. Nutter. You didn't win. You know.
No, sir.
Yeah, I can't understand if indeed your dogs did bite him, and he kind of proved it, that you didn't know it. Didn't you? You had him on a leash.
The way he
didn't
described him, yes, sir. The way he described that was totally inaccurate. My dogs did not jump on him. He walked up on him purposefully. But,
Well, apparently they did bite him, and you didn't know it at all. That's
well, he never
You-
showed me a bite. It didn't exist.
okay.
Okay.
Look, what are you going to do now? You gonna be more careful where you walk your dogs? You can.
I'm going to continue walking my dogs where I want.
Okay. All right.
Now, if he walks up on us again, and Florida has a stand your ground law. He can't walk up on us. He can't do that.
Well, thank you very much. Sorry you
you.
lost. Okay, good luck. Mr. Tabor?
Yes.
I was going to say, I think it would behoove you not to approach him that closely. If
I
if you
try
can
my
avoid it.
best
You,
to
you
avoid
obviously
him.
can. Legally, you
But
can.
sometimes when you walk outside, it's
Yeah.
dark out, and you don't see him until you're right up on him.
Okay.
And then there he is with his vicious dogs and his mental problems, apparently.
So what are you going to do from now on?
Well, I just urge people that live in that neighborhood to beware of him and those dogs and know that they're dangerous. And
Good enough.
You know.
Okay.
And myself, I'm going to stay my distance from him. But I still agree with the judge that you know what, it is my right to walk on the sidewalk or any street I want to.
You are right.
I am a citizen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okie dokes. Good luck. Harvey?
So look, Doug, the plaintiff's case makes no sense. It sounds like he's almost saying he was looking to get bit. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.